What's that? Who's Steve? Come on. Like you don't know. He's Jesus. Come on, stupid. Get it together. He's Jesus Christ of Nazareth. He's a Nazarene. He's walking the earth now. He's going to transfigure. I mean, go figure how he's going to transfigure. He's going to transfigure into a, you know, like a Hitler type deal. Like a Nimrod. Like Osiris. Like Alexander the Great. You know, like all those people back then that had a real evil satanic agenda, and then he's using a book, this book, he's adding to it, to the Bible, and he's taking away from the Bible because he's using this Gematria book as an absolute fact, proof of the Word of God that I've shown contradicts everything left and right. Because when you can literally count the number of man, and the number is 666, and you find Stephen James DeShawn's name in every which way possible of being found as a false Jesus, an accuser, Nimrod, Osiris, Satan, the king of social media, the mainstream media king, 666. You know, I mean, if it's true, then I guess, hey, then that book is absolute dead on. But why is it that you can I mean, you can type in Stephen James DeShawn is the king of social media, right? Underground social media. And then you can type in Stephen James DeShawn is Jesus Christ walking in the flesh. And then it'll still say 666. So when you collaborate all your letters together and you come up with a number for each number, and you're using a crude system, but you can use another system that you know the government has at their fingertips with AI that just calculates, you know, all types of words together to bring to the numbers that you want to bring it to. And then the trick is add an H before before you type it in, and then it'll give you what Steve put there. Okay, it'll give you the trick of the trade, because most people won't tell you that you got to add an H before, because it's the Hebrew Jewish number that you really go by. That one, I mean, you don't really go by the basic numbers of, you know, if there's 666 there. If I, Robin Henry Tees, has discovered that Stephen James DeShawn is a false Jesus, and it comes to 666, big deal. If you find out that Stephen James DeShawn is the author of confusion, same author, Gematria 666, it's just a coincidence that it happened that way. You know what I mean? And if you type in various other things that lines up with the number of the beast 666, and if Stephen wants to stay away from the 666 number with the Social Security, because he realized that the Social Security lined up with 666, he's going to stay away from anything that lines up with that number. So that's the reason why he didn't take the mark of the beast, you know, like the daily sacrifice that we're taking today. Hey, has anybody noticed that Donald Trump speaks every single day like a daily sacrifice? Has anybody have you guys taken notice of that? I mean, I thought I spoke a lot. I really do get tired of talking. I really do. But, you know, I feel an obligation, a responsibility, while I still have this platform. But I really am finished with the... I truly am finished with my testimony now. I mean, the only thing to try to figure out are the dates. The dates. When. But then again, I think I already figured that one out too, so. we'll see what happens when these dates roll around. Just like all the other dates, nothing's gonna happen. But no, I'm not hearing that this time. I'm hearing death threats now. Hey Jesus, what? I'm a little curious. What kind of Jesus talks to people, threatening their lives, like when they're gonna die, and degrades people and like puts people down? I thought the Jesus that we were taught about was a lot kinder than you. So that brings me to the this situation. I was wondering from some time now, like, why is he still trying? Like, you're caught like red-handed. It's just dead giveaway. But you'll still continue on with the gematria, and you'll still continue on pretending that you're going to be transformed into some great figure guy, even though it's all miracle signs and wonders. And when you are on the mainstream media and you do pop up out of nowhere and you start answering all these questions, like that commercial wouldn't let me show on the video, the Twilight Zone, and that guy coming out of nowhere, he's everywhere and nowhere, and all of a sudden everything, you know, is a lie, and then he has all the answers. That's you, Steve. That's who you're gonna do. That's who you are, and that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna pop up, you're gonna start answering everybody's questions, you're going to claim the role of Jesus Christ, but it's like, but you're this really like cool down to earth satanic type of Jesus, where you can kind of do whatever you want to do and it's cool, you know what I mean? It's good, it's all good, because thou art God, and you'll smite anybody that disagrees with you. So that's when I start realizing, oh, that's what it is, because I seen this preview for Lucifer, right? And or maybe it was Satan, I don't remember. I mean, no, it was supposed to be Jesus. It was a TV show, or maybe it was a commercial, I don't know. But anyway, the guy came out and he's like, I swear he had like the same attitude that you had, and people were calling him Jesus, and he was like some real douchebag. I don't know, he just had like a cocky attitude. And so I see that, oh, okay, all your flunkies that work for you, they might even believe that you are this new age Jesus Christ figure. You might have them fooled with the book of Gematria. You might, because I can see where I was fooled, thinking that the book was, it could back you up with whatever, because it said nothing but good about me. But now all of a sudden it's like, oh man, how you can change it up, it's almost pathetic. But you'll still try. But that's what people do when they lie. When they love to lie, and it's your job to lie, and it's just what you've been doing your entire life, you'll continue and continue and continue. You will continue to lie so much that if it's possible, you would get me to believe your lies. Even though I know it's like from the second you put on a video and you start talking, you're lying. And then, and it's like, but we both know that. But the more, if you keep talking, like if I lied and I kept talking and talking and talking, I would eventually be able to convince some people of my lies, don't you think? Even though you know I'm lying, it's like you might think twice, like, wait a minute, maybe he's just telling us. I'm so confused. That's what it is. You just continue on. Whoever believes you, they believe you. Whoever doesn't, you can just threaten to kill them. Like, not you. I mean, you're not going to specifically say that you're going to kill them, but the Jesus of the modern day, well, you can read between the lines what the words mean. I believe that when I do die, my spirit travels on, God takes it and does what he wants with it. You, on the other hand, you guys don't believe that. The elite don't believe in living after death unless they, you know, like wrap themselves in some kind of mummy outfit or preserve their body in some special casket. I mean, it's ridiculous the way that they think about the afterlife, but it's true. So therefore, they are afraid to die. Why do you think they have their lives prolonged to they're about 180? I'd swear that they're like just propped up on a stick. Even when they do die, they don't even let you know, really. Like George Bush. I think he died like 20 years ago. They just kept propping him up on a stick and moving him around and everything. So there's that. And the weather, Steve loves creating the weather. You know why? Because it's for his own good pleasure. Oh, great. Yeah, now you're going to accuse me of controlling the weather. Yeah, I know. We can't control the weather, right? It's like this. You see this snow here? This crap? It's probably like, I don't know, like 8 inches or so. Like 8 greater than 3. It's 8. And I'm shoveling this white shit this morning. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at it. It's so great. It's white and you just get to shovel it. And I'm shoveling it and I just hear like birds chirping like it's springtime. That's just, I don't know what. When do you hear birds chirping? When it's full of snow? Like where? I don't know. Maybe that's normal. It says it's 34 degrees, but it feels like it's 60. Why would anybody create weather? It's like, well, for their own good pleasure. When you create something, it's like, hey guys, what do you want to do today? We you know what? We're a little backed up on the rock salt. Maybe we should make it snow, and we can get rid of all that backed up salt. Hey, good idea. Hey, Steve, can you get your Joshua James account? Give everybody the weather forecast, because I know that's what your wife does on the other end. Just give them the weather forecast, and we need at least 6 inches today, okay, Steve? All right? Wait, can you drop it right on Robin's hood in Warrington? Thanks. The mystery's over. It's finished. It really is. There really isn't anything else to know on my end about the role of Stevens James. Oh yeah, I, Robin Henry Tees, discovered Stephen James DeShawn as the Antichrist 666. Just look it up. Go type it in yourself in Gematria. I, Robin Henry Tees, have discovered a bunch of things about Stevens James. The only thing I don't know yet is what is his real name. That's the only... I'll know. I just don't know yet. I think that's the only thing that I don't know about this mystery of the Bible is, well, okay, he is the Antichrist, right? I didn't think so at first. I thought it was many Antichrists in the world, which there are. But yeah, you do take the cake on the Antichrist. Because of many different reasons. Alright, you're exalting yourself above all gods. I mean, that you definitely are doing. And you and Trump, are like this. And you claim to have opened up the 7 seals, but you're claiming it's because of your book of Gematria that you're adding to the Bible, and you're taking away from the Bible by adding to the Bible. This craft, you will cause this craft to prosper, succeed, and stomp down the truth to the ground. Those are all facts. And you are claiming responsibility for writing in the book of Gematria since 2011, when you rose up from the bottomless pit, when you were given see, that's the thing. That's when you were given authority. 8, okay, back in 2011, and when that 5th trumpet was being blown, and then we got to May 21st of that year, and then the seal was opened up, and then the first woe has passed. That was when you rose up from the bottomless pit. No, you didn't really physically rise up from a ground that was in the bottom, a pit somewhere. Even though you're the king of the underground, you rose up to power. So technically, in the underground world, while you had your reign going for 7 going into the 8th year, which is now, which is this 7th and 8th year. But it'll be your first year in reign as in the public eye, when we all start seeing you on TV. That's going to be hilarious. And so that was the first woe, and that was the 5th trumpet and 5th seal. So when you're pushing that the 5th seal, the 5th trumpet is being blown now, you're everybody's 7 and of the 8th year behind. You just are. Christ wasn't born in the year 0. He didn't die at the age of 33. And he wasn't born in the year 3 BC either. He didn't die when he was 36 and a half. He was born in 7 BC. And he died when he was 39 and a half years old. Right around the same time I started to wake up, about 3.5 years ago, with that Obama interrupting all the sports, and your boy, that American hero guy that turned into a woman. I found something very disturbing about all of it, and I started to wake up, and then I got on YouTube after a year and a half, somewhere around there, and then for the next 2 years, started to speak about what I thought. And then, you know, Steve's the one that came to me. You're the one that harassed me, Steve, with that worm. You tried to feed me some wormwood because I'm a worm, Robin. That's right, I'm a worm. Wormwood. These are all for wormwood, aren't you? Man, this deception is so deep. It's so deep. And everybody's looking at me like, man, especially Steve's like, oh man, I can't wait to slit your throat and hang you by a noose, Robin, when you die, because you're an adder. You add truth to everything, and I don't like it. And you like ham and green eggs and ham. Is my name going to be Sam next, Steve? Dan's an adder. You mean Daniel? Yeah, he adds a lot of truth to, he adds a lot of understanding to people's dreams and interpretations. It's just what he does. And the Antichrist, well, of course he's going to raise up himself, magnify himself in his own heart. He's going to claim to be Jesus Christ. I never thought that it would be one person, and now I know it is. I know it is one person now. So, you know, I went all the way around thinking, Obama's the Antichrist. Get the hell out of here, freaking clown actor. And then you got this other clown actor that is proclaiming a lot of different things. And come on, man. Your Philadelphia jesters, I know what they are. They're those, and I didn't notice until this Halloween just passed by, when I went to my sister's in Reading. They had that little parade, and then I'm looking at it at a whole different perspective. I see these little guys on the, these guys with these clown hats, and they're driving these little you know, the little go-kart things. I'm like, these guys are freaking Masons. These are the Masons. And then I realized, well, no, these are the low-tier Masons. Like, they're the ones that they believe that Steve is like the cool new Jesus, right? But they don't have a high enough degree like I do, because I can already be a 33-degree Mason because I already know all of your secrets, and I didn't even have to join you. So I know that kind of pisses you off, Steve, a little bit, because I didn't have to join your fraternity in order to know your secrets. I know all of them inside and out. And the ones that are 33-degree Masons, well, they know you're full of shit. And they know that you are deceiving the lower tier. And then there's a tier that's lower than them. Like, those little Shriners, they're in charge of, I don't know, I guess like setting up conventions and stuff. They're probably harmless people. Like, they just don't know any better. They're looking for guidance. Nobody truly believes in God, because that's why they join. You know, they're looking for some kind of spiritual leadership, I guess, and it's just like joining another cult. It's like taking a religion, proclaiming a Baptist or a Catholic or Christianity or just whatever it is, even though Christianity's the closest to the name of Christ. But who do you listen to? Who do you truly believe when they talk? Everybody gives their own private interpretation, and some people lie. Some people give their private interpretation and they specifically lie about it. So I just believe that those little Shriner guys are just like event schedulers and those type of things. The true rituals are the ones that the 33-degree Masons do. Now, yeah, I still have hope for everybody that turns to God without having to be killed, you know, like destroyed by fire and brimstone, because that's not really going to happen. The fire and brimstone and smoke is God's judgment coming out of the mouth of his people that he's telling to speak. And the Antichrist, well, they don't like it, so they will threaten your life, and they'll try the best that they can to try to put fear in your heart. It doesn't work. For some people, maybe it did. Maybe it shut them up. I'm just finished, man. I'm just finished. I'll still talk, but I'm done. I'm just waiting for it to happen, because Satan has given the Antichrist a date. He's given him a date of rulership, and the Antichrist does not think for a second that anything's going to interfere with this plan of ruling. And so, and I go through life 100% knowing this, that if God doesn't stop what I know he will, well then yeah, I will die, probably of the most brutal murder, torturous death, 10 times fold more than Christ himself, because I am the only one that has figured out who Steve is, and without being on that side. And other people can agree that it's true, or you can say, whatever, Robin, you think, okay, sure, just a poor suffering servant. But I feel like I'm the only one that has exposed the actual Antichrist, when I didn't ever think that it would be just one person. Now I know. So yeah, the Antichrist is going to kill me. If the Christ doesn't stop, you know, if he doesn't flick the switch there, I'm such a dead man. But I go around every day knowing that. But I don't walk around every day like, oh my God, I'm a dead man. Because I don't feel like God's going to allow this to continue on. Way too many people are waking up. And I know it's the elite's plan to wake people up because they're throwing the truth out there as much as possible in your face, but lying about it at the same time. Doing that typical satanic thing. And they want you to know. Like Steve wants me to know everything about him and then kill me to my face. Because that's the most satisfying, gratifying thing. And then suck my blood out of me as I'm dying. Try to get me to be at the highest fear of my life, and then stick a straw in me and start sucking my blood out. I mean, I guess it makes you live longer or something. I don't know what the deal is with all that, but who knows if it's even true. But it's said it's true. If it is, okay, it's true. And that's what I go by. So I've already thought this through. I'm just waiting for this cup to pass. And if it doesn't happen that way, well, then it happens the way that I think it's going to happen. Which is, they have a plan, they have a date. Their plan is to turn their face against the fort of their own land. And as soon as they do that, well, he will be destroyed in neither anger nor in battle. So he's going to be destroyed, his soul destroyed / resurrected, neither in battle nor in anger. So it must be in love somehow. And by 7 times passing over, once you turn your face back to the fort of killing me, you're going to have 7 times to think about. 7 different times a day. You're going to have that much time to think about it. And then you're going to think, well, I guess I'm not God. I'm sorry, Robin. I'm sorry, Robin. Will you forgive me? Of course. Yeah, Saul. Yeah, King Saul. I'll forgive you just like David forgave you for trying to kill him. At every corner, you just constantly threatening his life, looking to kill him. And then David could have killed you. And then he's like, look, man, just freaking wake up, man. Cut your shit, stupid. Just trying to show you that, hey, look, it's expected. I'm telling you God is love. I'm showing you how he's going to love. I'm walking the walk. I'm not just talking about it like Steve, okay? I'm not just talking about it. I'm proving it in my actions. My actions do speak louder than my words. And so that's why your actions proves that you are the Antichrist. It's my conclusion. It's what it is. It is what it is. And a call for an uprising. Yeah, he's Steve. Justin, he's Steve's. He's one of his top employees, and they all have that same like technique where they kind of have this editing type of. It's like a language, like you can see, because again, when Steve has somebody on in the background, like Stephen Banu over in Israeli News Live, they all work for him. They're all his top guys, and I mean Richie is too, but a call for an uprising. I think he's more fond of him because he reads very well. He reads a lot of his information that Steve needs him to get out there. But I don't even know what you're talking about, what they're up to. I don't follow them. I don't go on their live streams. I don't know what the Satyrs are up to. But whatever. I mean, I know what they're up to, but I don't care what they're up to. Everybody's up to filthy conversation and just talking shit about each other. And it's purposed that way. It's the way it's meant to be. So what else is there to know about Steve? He's going to pop up, rise up out of nowhere. He will be in the mainstream media, in the main eye, because he needs the first beast to be wounded by the head, even though it was Nimrod, and then he needs to rise up and cause all of those to worship the first beast. You know, with the notable horn between his eye. And so he's fitting the role perfectly with that. Well, you know, it's just I'll just keep repeating myself. Is what I'm doing. You know, I'll just keep adding charges to my list of felonies that I'm committing with the law of man that God's getting ready to stomp. He's getting ready to stomp you guys. Not literally. He's not really going to stomp on your face with his foot. He's going to stomp on your dreams that I've been interpreting. He's going to stomp on them. You were warned that he's going to stomp on them. You were told to repent, but you won't until that time happens. And, you know, I can see how bad it's going to hurt, because let's look at it this way. If God doesn't stop it, and all of a sudden we just continue on, and it's like, oh man, I'm stuck here? Really? And then I see them coming after me, getting ready to chop my head off. I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to say, man, this sucks. Shit. I thought that we were going to roll. And then I'm going to start crying. And then that's the same thing that's going to happen to the elite. And then their fate is going to happen. You know, my fate's going to happen. I'm going to die. And then I go to heaven. Like, literally, this time. I really do. With my mind, body, and soul. I'm in heaven now. My spirit is gone. It's there. But that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is what I already said is going to happen. The elite are just not going to have their way. And 7 days are going to pass by them. And they're going to realize. Actually, 7 full years. Also, 7 times. That's why he used 7 times, because it's a dual meaning. It's 7 years and it's 7 days. Because 7 years is the full 7.